Right-hand side, dominating game number 1 from Axiom, it is Impact.
And spawning in the bottom left side of Frost, it is EG's Jaedong.
The map is Frost, one of the older maps of the map pool, something that's survived the latter seasons for a while now. A 4-player map, a large map. So both players, as we can see, clearly not spawning quote-unquote correctly. That would be the craziest thing we've ever seen in our lives. Scout cross map. But Jaedong seems to be fairly undeterred so far, at least. We're not seeing what we have seen in the past, which is early pool. Could end up being a 15 pool or even a hatch first.
Yeah, I mean, from that first game, he was microing a little better than Impact. Nobody can deny that. That is not bias. He was. So is he likely to open up a 15 pool this game, maybe? And if your opponent opens up 15 hatch, you are a few drones behind, but can he make that up? I might be thinking to play a solid game like that, but here we do have his drone moving down to make an hatchery, and Impact is the one going for pool at 15.
I can't help but chuckle because it's Jaedong basically. These best of 3s are so savage. It's so short. You know, we've talked about this all tournament long. It will be a best of 5 grand final in a couple of rounds, but best of 3 is so short and shallow. So we talk about playing these best of series, and I love this move from Jaedong. He got build order disadvantage because he was playing the macro game number 1. Game number 2, he just does it again. He says, "You don't have the balls to do that again. There's no way in heck." And in this case, he's correct. It's actually going to be Impact that goes with a much, much safer build, 15 spawning pool.
And ZvZ is so savage within regards to build order wins early on. You have your 15 hatch, you have your 15 pool, and then you have your 9 pools. They all have, or they all go in a mini circle of death in which one beats which. And Jaedong, his life is on the line. Would you go? Personally, I'd go for the safest play, but that does not make me a champion, whereas Jaedong is. So this play is going to work out for him.
Very interesting. It's actually 6 lings out for Impact. More standard is 2 to 4, and they're really kind of scouty lings, but not scouting his opponent first, and then sending out his Overlord to top left as the secondary Overlord. Doesn't see another Overlord there as well. So he knows, for the most part, Jaedong is bottom left. But these 6 lings is a little bit of investment. I don't want to make it sound like he's like, he's obviously not all inning or something crazy like that, but he is playing super safe.
Yeah, what are you going to achieve with those 6 lings?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what you're asking.
What do you catch,
You don't really catch anything. You're going to run into a pretty similar link count, but with queens too. At most, he just forces these drones to dance around, I guess, but maybe he'll prove us wrong right here.
He's going to try. He's going to go ahead. And again, Jaedong just kind of fading back here because he is the guy with only 4 lings versus the 6. The 6 make their way in here, but they're getting deflected by the drones, and just more time for the queen to come out. The queen does pop out, and we have our answer. In fact, these Zerglings are in danger of being trapped, and that would be not super bad, but not good.
Not good indeed. Drone counts are very similar, 20 to 21. The big difference here is Jaedong has speed halfway done, meaning he'll have map control after this. Yes, the drone took a bit of a hit from the queen there. It was a little unfortunate. But these lings do die, so Jaedong immediately, build order-wise and strategically, takes a little bit of an edge here.
He has map control. And what's good for Impact, to turn this frown upside down, is that he did scout out that fast gas, and he was going gasless anyway, so he doesn't lose much as well. He was always going to drone behind this. He's not going to try for any kind of slow ling thing. And he's also going to always have these queens kind of anchoring his natural. So the 6, we're critical of it. We're like, it should have been 2 to 4. And that certainly would have been better for him because he would have had the same thing accomplished, only at a lesser rate. But here we are. He should be just fine. Safe, and his build is going as per usual.
Queen wall is always pleasant. 2 Evos blocking off 2. Is he going to put both of those to use later on? We'll see. Maybe he's going roaches. We don't really know yet. This could be anything still.
Sure.
An early lair for Jaedong here. It seems that his playstyle, he likes to go for 2 base economy, going up to lair rather than going for 3 base. So, yeah, I really don't know where this is going to go from here. It just, 4 gases, it looks like 2 base muted.
It should be, especially on these larger maps where there's a really good chance you'll, clear up a lot of those spotting overlords.
Ooh, the lings do get in here, so they will get a full scout on. And you may think this isn't the biggest deal, but getting to count gases, there are no gases in the main, there's no lair being done. Running back down to the natural, it doesn't really make it, but this is a really good scout for Jaedong.
And he actually might even confirm this newly formed lair. That's good.
Runs back in, lair, an extractor going down, not the 4th one though, so he knows he's going to be ahead in gas. Is he going to go down to the natural? No, not yet.
No, he sees a lot of queens, though. But to kind of go back to what I was saying, that the mutas give such strength on this map, in particular because it's large, you get a lot of overlords, but also the mobility of the mutas really get to take advantage of that when you have more space to really see that. In fact, these lings get down to the natural and they see the Roachborn as well. So Jaedong has all information. He knows everything.
Picked off a little drone there, too. One thing that's confusing me a little bit here is the ling speed by impact at this late stage in the game. Given that he's going for roaches, quite obviously, and quite a few queens, I'm wondering what he plans on doing with those lings.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather probably see like a carapace upgrade, or if you're going to skip that altogether, then perhaps save for a big explosion of roaches, or even getting roach speed the second this finishes. I have to agree with you. That's a little bit interesting. Well, we have our answer. That's actually 20 Zerglings being made right this second. And this is actually kind of a classic, I don't want to call it a timing, but response, if you will. The third base is a tug-of-war game for both Zerg players. You want to have enough lings to defend your own, but also cancel your opponents, but while you're teching behind that as well.
This was a little unfortunate for Impact. He did not have this creep spread from this Overlord spreading, so that Spinecrawler was not done in time. All these slow lings are not going to be there in time to save that hatchery, and it is cancelled. So Jaedong takes, again, another lead.
And that's really nice. The creep does actually get that Spinecrawler down now, and there's 2 queens there, but as you said, it gets restarted. We had actually a scout inside the main base of Jaedong, and it did not see the Spire. Of course, when he sees this many lings and no roaches whatsoever, he can probably infer that it is a Mutalisk build. We have a lot of Zerglings coming over here, by the way, from Impact.
A lot of Zerglings by both of them, actually. 32 and 48 respectively, and Mutas are going to be joining the fray too, but Impact certainly outnumbering Jaedong's amount of Zerglings here. If he takes out the third, they're on even keel somewhat.
Well, Jaedong's just trying to buy time. This third should die. Impact's going to get a full surround here.
Oh, is he going to get it, though? Transfuse goes down as well, so those Zerglings do have to run away.
Nice save. I spoke too soon. The Transfuse used just enough health there, and also if Impact would have tried to kill it, it's not guaranteed, and he would have certainly lost all the Zerglings. Now with the Mulus, the map control is certainly in favor of Jaedong. Lots of queens over here, however, so I'm not sure this third base is in danger of dying, but it's that's the only silver lining in that cloud.
Well, yeah, Impact's got an inferior economy, which he's further getting behind, given that he's having to make spore crawlers here. Each spore crawler is a drone that turns into it. So again, Jaedong's economy, 62 harvesters to 47 with a tech advantage too.
And a really fast fourth. I like that.
Wow.
I really do. He's saying, okay, I'm controlling the skies. You lost a lot of lings trying to kill my third. Map control is firmly in the grasp of Jaedong. And one of the best ways to capitalize on that is, of course, tech switching, because you don't just stick on mutas, but also adding a super fast fourth.
Yeah, and Impact will make nothing that can attack air and move out across the map for a while. So these mutas, free reign, as you said. Look at the map vision for Jaedong too. Control of 2 Zelnagas, overlords all over the map. He's killing all of Impact's overlords. Impact is not only playing behind, he's playing blind too.
Yep, and even a 5th hatchery being added for Jaedong, so that's one of the ways you can also end up spinning it. A lot of lings dying on the right side of the map as Jaedong does hunt them down. Really, really being good about fishing around this map. This is something we saw from Life earlier. I don't know that we'll see this come out from from Impact, but we've seen like a Nidus Worm Queen Infestor attack. There is enough queens out there that this could be something on the scope for Jaedong. And one of the ways Life kind of delayed that and defended that in a previous ZvZ was just making sure there's no map vision for that Nidus Worm.
I always love it when Zerg players get Burrow in ZvZ. In fact, any matchup, but particularly ZvZ. And I mean, it's not going to work out the best for like running roaches absolutely everywhere, given there's so many spore crawlers knocking about. But even after those big engagements with the roaches against roaches, which this will inevitably be, you then heal up.
Oh yeah, it's the you must have upgrade. And honestly, you and I have been on that soapbox for a while in all 3 matchups, but it's nice to see it here. Jaedong is going to go ahead and get that Burrow upgrade. Both players getting +2 range attack. Infestors coming out for Impact. That's going to be a great answer. It's a way to handle the Mulus, but also it, of course, aids in the fight against things like roaches and hydras. It's a very nice utility catch-all unit to do. And in the backfield, by the way, Jaedong is, let me confirm this, but I think he's actually just going roaches again. This guy is madly in love with roaches right now.
Yeah. Impact. I like that he's going for Infestors now. He knows that Jaedong, does he know that he took a 4th? He's going to know that he's got a superior economy. You cannot beat a guy with a superior economy by doing the exact same thing. And a nice fungal does land there. It's going to kill 4 mutas. I like the way that the fungal projectile actually goes down that cliff right there.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. Big shout out to Blizzard. You guys made an awesome game. But Jaedong is using these Mutalisks to earn him an advantage, and the advantage is real. A 45 supply advantage here. Unit count shows 47 roaches to 31. Now, Impact does have 6 infestors, and he has a grip of queens at 8. But I don't know if that's enough to overcome that. Upgrade-wise, they're going to be very, very similar here.
But Jaedong is grouping up here, trying to split these roaches as much as he can. Big Fungal does land on the big group of roaches right there, but there's so much for Jaedong. Even if he does trade inefficiently, it's still good for him. And roaches in the main base, how did they sneak by?
I actually don't have an answer there. Those Zerglings are in there just tearing apart the economy in the backfield. Impact's got bigger fish to fry. He does hold off this attack, but you'll notice that supply differential is actually, again, in favor of Jaedong because he just traded so well there. Some infestors did die. The Zerglings cleaning up the main. Impact just now realizing what was happening and is going to go ahead and start to work on those. But behind this, Jaedong, again, churning out more roaches. Carapace upgrade. And on the production tab, Impact has to remake his drones because he lost them there.
He was burrowing lings in the main base while he was burrowing his roach army. He does unburrow right next to Impact. These infestors are kind of out of energy. Bit of a freeze frame there.
Oh, geez. The burrow trap is sprung. Infestors dying as they try to go across the map. Impact. You got caught with your hand in the cookie jar. Jaedong is killing infestors and roaches alike. Queen's called out here as well. The burrow play was nice. This play is so stunning that our production crew is even checking Twitter.
GG called.